Guys, how are you going? So I wanted to talk with you today about that little voice that we all have inside our head and how it says usually things that kind of work against us sometimes, and what you can do to try and train it a little bit differently so that you can have a different experience. I'll share with you one of my stories. So growing up, I was the eldest of six children, and my brother and two of my little sisters were really, really, really good at school. I mean, amazing. I mean, one of my sisters skipped classes and stuff like that, and my brother was amazing, and they could just do anything that they put their minds to. And it was great to see them achieving so much when it came to academics, but I was struggling, and I learned very early on that they were good at maths and I was hopeless at maths. And it was hard because I was the oldest one, so I kind of felt pressured to be better than them with maths, considering they were a bit younger. And so anyway, I went through primary school, and I was so worried that I wasn't good with maths that when it got to the end of year four, I stayed behind at the end of term, and I asked my teacher, did she think that I was good enough with maths to go into year five? And she was very surprised that I asked that question, and she just laughed at me. She said, "Well, of course you are." Then I went to high school, and I remember struggling with high school maths as well. And it was very, very difficult because it was so new and it was so different to anything that I learned. And every time I opened up my book, it seemed like a whole other world, a whole other language. And I always say things to myself like, I can't do this. I'm not smart enough for this. I don't know how this works. I'm hopeless at maths. Why am I even in this class? And I used to long for reaching year nine, because year nine we're allowed to pick our subjects, and I knew then that I didn't have to do maths, that I could drop maths. So I was very excited to get to year nine. I get to year nine, and then my mum says, no, you're not dropping maths because you're going to need it, because you need to go and get an education, and any courses that you do in the future you're going to need maths for, so you're doing it. And anyway, I struggled through year 9, 10, 11 and 12 maths. It was so hard. I used to cry a lot at night time when I was doing my homework. And I used to think things that felt better, like getting a nice notepad or getting nice gel pens, or I used to distract myself with things like that to try and feel better about doing maths. It didn't matter what I did. I would sit there for hours and hours and hours just telling myself, this is stupid, I'm stupid, I can't do it. And, I wouldn't be able to do it. And then I'd have nothing to submit, or what I did submit I knew wasn't good. I'd get it back, it was wrong. I was always kind of borderline failing maths. So fast forward a few years, and I passed VCE, because actually, you won't believe this, but this is the honest truth, no word of a lie. I was in VCE, and I remember I was so nervous about doing my maths exam. I stayed up all night to do it. And then, would you believe, I woke up in the morning and I got ready to go to school, and all my family said, you don't have to go to school today because the school burned down. And I said, oh yeah, right, ha ha ha. And they said, but didn't you hear all the fire trucks going past the house? Because we used to live a block away from the school. I said, no. Anyway, I went to walk to the school, and of course, as soon as I stepped outside, there was all smoke and ash in the air, and it turned out that the school had burned down. And anyway, I didn't have to do the maths exam, so it was great. I think they just gave everybody a pass for it anyway, so that was like, it worked out in my favour. Anyway, so then I had a couple of years off, as you know, and then I had an experience where I thought, okay, mum's at uni, she's doing really well, that's amazing. I'm going to have to get over myself here and get over my fears and get over my ego and get over my pride. I'm going to have to do something too. So one day I saw in a magazine that they were doing correspondence courses. And so I sent away to do this correspondence course. And it was in child psychology. And turned out that I was good at it. And I really liked it, and I got really great feedback. And so for weeks, I think it was like nearly 12 months, it was like every week, another assignment. And I loved it because it wasn't on email or anything. This is how old it was, but I had to post them in the real mail. And then I used to get really excited to receive the mail from them because it used to always have really encouraging comments written on it. And what I found, didn't realise at the time, but what I found was that having those encouraging comments from someone who didn't know me was actually helping me realise that maybe I was capable of things after all. Okay, light bulb moment, right? Then I go to university and I apply for a course. I get into the course, fantastic. And then I'm speaking to the course advisor, and he tells me, you should, if you want to be a psychologist, you're going to have to do statistics, which is like maths. You're going to have to do that because you're going to have to do research, and you can't research and you can't do science without maths. And, you know, I just thought, okay, that's fine, I'll do it. And because I'd already had the experience of a year worth of having all this positive feedback from someone who didn't know me with that other course. Oh, and in between, after I did that course, then I went to Chisholm, or called TAFE, and I did biology and psychology there to see if I was, you know, good enough, again, with the good enough. Turns out I was, and I got amazing marks and like totally nailed it. So my confidence had built up over this 2-year period. Go to uni, speak to course advisor, they help me pick up my subjects. Yes, I enroll in statistics. I go there and guess what? It's all fine. I end up having, you can do like a single major. A major is a subject that you do study most while you're doing your 3-year degree. And you can have usually a single major or a double. I did a triple major, and would you believe it was in statistics? And guess what? Nobody else in my family, like my siblings, they didn't do statistics at university. So what had happened was, for a long time, I had been living a story based on what other people had told me. And that story was that I wasn't good enough, and I wasn't good enough with maths, and that, you know, I wouldn't be able to have a career, or I wouldn't be able to do this, or I wouldn't be able to do that. What I learned was you don't have to take on board the things that well-meaning people around you might be saying that are, I guess, having a negative effect on you. Maybe you don't even realize it now. Maybe you can think of a time in the past where, you know, people have had a message and they've been giving you that message. It might not be about study, of course. It might be about something else. You know, maybe people have said to you, you know, you're just not good at sport, and then you take that on and it becomes your self-talk. So you start telling yourself every time you've got to do sport that you're not good at it, and then guess what? You create a situation where you're no good at it, and that reinforces what they've said, and it reinforces your view now of yourself, and you've created this whole self-fulfilling prophecy. But you can absolutely change things, because you don't need to listen to other people's opinions of you. You don't need to listen to other people's stories. You can create the story that you want to have. And the way that you do it is you think about what you want to have, or you think about what you want to be, and then you think about it a lot. And the reason why is because, you know, so much of your behavior, of your beliefs, of your thoughts, of your values, of the things that are important to you, of who you are as a person, sits in your subconscious mind. And your subconscious is actually taking up 95% of your whole entire mind. I mean, just what you're aware of right now is only 5%. And you're actually aware of a lot of stuff. So imagine multiplying that by so much to get to the 95%. It's crazy. And to think that the subconscious mind is 30,000 times more powerful than what you're even really aware of right now. The way to access all of that good stuff and all of that power is through repetition. So if you can consciously repeat to yourself a story that you want to live, a story you want to hear, a story that you want to be your new truth, you can absolutely do it. It just takes repetition, and repetition is different for everybody. Some people will write things down on a piece of paper and stick the piece of paper everywhere and they'll look at it every day. Other people will say things out loud to themselves. Other people will journal, you know, for hours a day about this new thing that they want to experience or this new version of themselves that they want to be. It doesn't matter how you do it. You just find the way that's going to work for you and you stick to it. You be consistent and you watch, mark my words, it's not going to take long at all for that to become your new story. So if you're ready, today could be the day that you make a decision to change a story that you've been telling yourself. Today could be the day that you make a decision to unlock something truly special and amazing and energizing to share with the rest of the world or to have in your life. You know, it's really as simple as you making that decision. And if you need a hand with it, of course, I'm happy to help you. So what we've just spoken about here is, you know, some psychology and some manifestation. And if you're interested in either, please let me know, because I'm a psychologist and I'm also a coach for Law of Attraction. I'd absolutely love to help you unlock this amazing person that you know is in there. You know you're destined for more. You know you're destined for better things. You just might not know how to go about it. If you're in that position, I'd love to help you. Anyway, have an awesome day. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.